Vishnavinda ki jai. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivas Adi Gaur Bhaktivinoda ki Sri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sam Kund Radha Kund Giridharadhan ki jai. Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Navadvip Dham ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Ganga Mai ki jai. Jamuna Mai ki jai. Tulasi Devi ki jai. Bhakti Devi ki jai. Swami Bhaktivinoda ki jai. All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Srimad Bhagavatam 1, Canto 1, Chapter 7, Text 12, from September 11th, 1976 in Vrindavan. We're continuing the class.
You may see how Krishna will be just today. So this material nature is
How perfect the machine of Krishna will be, just imagine. So this material nature
nothing but machine.
It's nothing but machine.
It is not God. Those who are with poor fund of knowledge,
It is not God. Those who are with poor fund of knowledge,
they are taking directly this material nature as working. No.
They are taking directly as this material nature working. No.
Material nature has no power to act. It is
Material nature has no power to act. It is
done. It is the same example with computer.
It is servant. Same example as with computer.
is dull.
It is a very nice machine, but it cannot work automatically.
the computer is a very nice machine, but it cannot work automatically
Unless an expert pushes the button.
Unless an expert pushes the button.
So, material nature cannot do anything.
Material nature cannot do anything.
It is Krishna's will. Then everywhere there is Krishna's will.
It is Krishna's direction. So everywhere there is Krishna's direction.
One who has got the eyes to see,
for him, Sanskrit.
Whatever he sees, he remembers Krishna.
One has to become advanced devotee.
To understand how Krishna's direction is going on.
They can understand. Don't think that
Don't think that things are taking place automatically.
And at the beginning he said they can understand.
Therefore, even in divorce conditions, a devotee does not see that.
Therefore, even in the worst condition, a devotee can see that.
A devotee does not see that
This thing is happening without direction of Krishna.
This thing is happening without the direction of Krishna.
Even if he is in an advanced condition, he does not feel any pain.
So even if he incurs adverse position, he does not feel any pain because
You know that this adverse condition is also under the direction of Krishna.
He knows that
this adverse condition is also under the direction of Krishna.
So I am fully surrendered to Krishna.
Why should I take this adverse position?
As not mercy of Krishna. It is all.
It's not my service, is it? Oh, mercy of Krishna.
It's not mercy of Krishna.
As what?
It's not mercy of Krishna.
Tattena
Kampam
Kampam Susmikshmanam Punjani Vakatam Vipakam.
A devotee is not disturbed by adverse conditions.
But a devotee is not disturbed by adverse condition.
He takes that it is a gift of Krishna.
Tate anukampa, it is Krishna's mercy.
Although
I'm put into this
difficulty, it is Krishna's mercy.
so anyone who takes it that way
Anybody who takes it like that, Mukti Pade Sadhya Bhak, he is going back to Godhead.
He's guaranteed.
his going back to God is guaranteed.
because he takes everything as Krishna's mercy.
Because he takes everything as Krishna's mercy.
That's quite a... Think about that for a second. He takes everything as Krishna's mercy. Everything. Even if it seems most adverse thing in the world. He loses money, he gets stolen, he gets defamed. You just imagine all the horrible things. He has a disease. That's all Krishna's mercy. What do you think? Let's be realistic. Someone might say, let's be realistic. God wouldn't do that. God wouldn't cause a little girl, a small girl to become injured like that. No, but if he takes everything as Krishna's mercy, then, that's a nice verse, mukti, he says that Sadaiva, he becomes, that's his inheritance. He inherits the mukti, going back to Godhead. So that's quite a statement here.
Just like Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad
Prahlad Maharaj was so much chastised.
By his father, you know,
How he was put into the
difficulty in so many ways.
But he was taking, this is Krishna's mercy.
But he was taking, this is Krishna's mercy.
It is not another.
It is not another thing.
He did not take it otherwise.
In this way, wherever, everywhere there is Krishna.
So in this way, everywhere there is Krishna also.
So what to speak of this battlefield?
So what to speak of this battlefield?
So in this way, everywhere there is Krishna's hand. So what to speak of this battlefield?
Or any other thing. So we should not take otherwise.
Or any other thing we should not take otherwise.
This is the best part and this is the lowest part.
that this is the best part and that this is the lowest part.
We shouldn't take it like that. Shouldn't take it like this is the best part, and this is the lowest part. Making distinction between Krishna's pastimes on the battlefield of Kurukshetra compared to in Vrindavan or something like that.
No. Wherever there is Krishna,
No, wherever there is Krishna.
then Krishna is everywhere, but you cannot see.
that is, Krishna's everywhere, but you cannot see.
But at least in Mahabharata, in Srimad Bhagavatam,
But at least from Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam,
Krishna is dealing with the Pandava.
And Krishna is dealing with the Pandavas.
The Krishna's hand is
Krishna's hand is there.
there. That is Krishna's Leela.
That is Krishna's Leela.
It is not that.
It is not that.
One who is at home, one who is actually in knowledge,
One who is advanced, one who is actually in knowledge,
they will take Krishna Kathoda, but
They'll take Krishna's controller.
It was Sanskrit. They will take Sanskrit.
wherever Krishna's Katha is there, it is as good as any other. That is real.
Whenever Krishna Katha is there, that is good as any other.
Are they as good as Vrindavan?
That is good as Vrindavan.
Thank you very much. And I'll start a new class now.
So wherever Krishna's kata is there, he takes that as good as the other. You know, Krishna was, his hand was in the Mahabharata, so it's as good. The devotee accepts all the pastimes of Krishna. Not that some he accepts and some he rejects as lesser. Those that may do that, they may be not so advanced. Therefore it's like we know some people that they like Krishna's pastimes for reading to children, the nice pastimes, but not the ones where they're killing. Because I think the killing one is not so nice. But actually, the killing is also nice, because he's not actually killing. Those who understand, Krishna doesn't do anything bad or any harmful to anyone. It may appear that way. That's just his Leela, pastime. And that's the mystery of it, to understand how Krishna is doing that, but it's all good. It's all transcendental.
His time of death arrived. At that time, he began to think of his son without any other thought.
Sanskrit and anyone?
You can start off with everyone is. I think you start there.
I only heard under certain conditions.
Everyone is under certain conditions.
Should I play a different one because of the audio?
It's up to you.
We don't believe in the next life just to avoid this consequence. But that will not.
So they won't believe in the next life just to avoid this consequence, but that will not
excuse us. We have to accept a type of body, otherwise
Excuse us. We have to accept a type of body. Otherwise,
how there are so many different types of bodies.
How there are so many different types of bodies.
What is the explanation? Why different forms?
What is the explanation? One different form.
Of body, different stages of body, different standard of
Different stage of body, different standard of
body. That is nature's law.
Different standards of body, that is nature's law.
Therefore, this human form of life
Therefore, this human form of life
should be properly utilized.
Should be properly utilized.
Not simply engage in sense gratification
Not simply engaged in sense gratification,
like cats and dogs.
Like cats and dogs.
That is not very responsible life.
That is not very responsible life.
Responsible life is
Responsible life is
that I have got this improved form of life.
That I am not this improved form of life? Should I go before or after Maharaj?
Than the cats and dogs, and I have got more intelligence
Than the cats and dogs, and I have more intelligence.
than the cats and dogs. If I simply utilize it
Then the cats and dogs, if I simply utilize it for
four bodily necessities of
For 4 bodily necessities of
life. 4 bodily necessities of life means
4 bodily necessities of life means
we require some eating. The cats, dogs, human beings,
we require some eating, the cats, dogs, and human beings,
or High Court judge or anyone, they require some eating.
Or, I missed that, they require some eating. Or something, anyone, they require some eating.
They require sleeping,
they require sleeping.
apartment. So that is, cats and dogs can sleep without apartment.
Apartment. The cats and dogs can sleep without apartment.
But it's sleeping required.
But is sleeping required?
That is fact. Eating required.
that is fact. Eating required.
That is fact. And sex life.
That is fact. And sex life.
That is also fact. And defense.
that is also fact, and defense.
That is also fact. But these things are common.
that is also fact. But these things are covered.
To the cats and dogs.
To the cats and dogs.
And man, human being.
And man, human being.
what is the special feature of the human being?
So, what is the special feature of the human being?
The special feature of the human being
The special feature of the human being is
that a human being can consider
that the human being can consider
that I have got this nice American or Australian or Indian
That I have got this nice American and Australian
body, then what I am going to get next?
Body, then what am I going to get next?
What kind of body?
What kind of body?
That is utilized for human intelligence. A cat and
that is utilized for human intelligence. A cat and
dog cannot think like that.
dog cannot think like that.
Therefore, our business should be
Therefore, our business should be,
now by the nature's way,
Now, by the nature's way,
have come to this form of life by evolutionary process. Now,
I've come to this human form of life by the evolutionary process.
I have got good intelligence. How
Now I have good intelligence. How
I shall utilize it?
How should I utilize it?
You are cultivating knowledge, the ultimate goal of knowledge.
You are cultivated knowledge, the ultimate goal of knowledge.
Krishna says, is to know me.
Krishna says is to know me.
Vedashta sadvai ahameva vedam. The whole knowledge is meant for
Vedashta sarvar aham eva vejo. This whole knowledge is meant for
understanding God.
understanding God.
That is the end of knowledge.
that is what?
The end of knowledge.
Oh, that is the end of knowledge.
By progressive knowledge, you can make progress.
By progressive knowledge, you can make progress.
But unless you do not come to the point to understand what is God,
But unless you do not come to the point to understand what is God,
then your knowledge is imperfect.
Then your knowledge will be imperfect.
That is called Vedanta. Athata Brahma Jigyasa.
That is called Vedanta, Atata Brahma Jigyasa.
This human form of life, nice facility,
This human form of life, nice facility,
intelligence, just like Australia,
intelligence, just like Australia. Shishigani Taiki Jai.
was undeveloped since the Europeans came here.
Was undeveloped since the Europeans came here.
It is now very developed.
It is not very developed.
Resourceful, because the intelligence has been utilized.
Resourceful because the intelligence has been utilized.
Mayadhakshena prakriti suyate sacharasan.
Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam.
Nature is a machine.
Machine. Nature is a machine.
So do you think a machine works without an operator?
Do you think a machine works without an operator?
Do you think? Is there any evidence?
Do you think, is there any evidence?
Huh? Now this is a machine. Photography.
Now this is a machine, prakriti.
Photography. Photography.
A wonderful machine. It is taking the picture and it will move.
Although it's just a machine, it's taking pictures.
A wonderful machine, just taking picture and it will move.
But there is an operator.
But there is an operator.
Where is the machine which is working without?
Where is the machine which is working without
Operator. Can you give any example? Yes.
Without an operator. Can you give any example?
There is a machine which is working without operator.
Where is the machine that is working without operator?
So how do you think that the nature machine is working?
So how do you think the nature machine is working
Without the supreme operator, God's instruction.
Without the supreme operator, God's direction.
God's instruction?
How do you think it? This is not very reasonable.
How do you think? It is not very reasonable.
We have to judge. There are different evidences.
There are different evidences.
Judge.
One of the evidence is hypothesis.
One of the evidences is
Hypothesis.
That hypothesis is that because we see that no machine works,
That hypothesis is because we see that no machine works
without operator,
without operator?
therefore we should conclude it, even though we do not know.
Therefore, we should conclude it, even though we do not know
What is God, what is the nature? We must conclude it.
What is God? What is the nature? We must conclude it.
That is nature which is working under some supreme operator. That is God.
that the nature is working under the supreme operator, that is the God.
It is not necessary to see the operator.
It is not necessary to see the operator,
but we can guess that there must be operator.
But we can guess that there must be operator.
The human life is meant for finding out who is there to operate.
The human life is meant for finding out who is the operator.
That is it.
that is
human life.
human life.
Otherwise it's cats and dogs' life. They're eating, sleeping, mating and dancing. That's
Otherwise, it is cats and dogs' life. They're eating, sleeping, mating, and dancing. That's all.
That is not human life.
That is not human life.
You must find out who is the operator.
You must find out who is the operator.
Bhata Brahma Jigyasa. This is called in Sanskrit word. Now this human form of life
Atatu Brahma Jigyasa, this is called in Sanskrit, in human life, now you must find out.
Now in this human form of life,
is meant for inquiring about the supreme operator.
So now the human form of life is meant for inquiring about the supreme operator.
Now that supreme operator, Krishna, is so kind.
Now that supreme operator, Krishna, is so kind.
He is giving evidence in the Bhagavad Gita.
He gives evidence in the Bhagavad Gita.
Maya dhaksena prakriti syate sacharacharam. Now here I am.
Mayadhyakshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. Now here I am.
Under my direction, the prakriti, the nature, material.
Under my direction, the nature, the prakriti,
nature is working.
Material nature is working.
So you accept, then your business is done.
When you accept, then your business is done.
And Krishna gave evidences.
Krishna gives evidences
How he is controlling the nature.
How he is controlling the nature.
Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.